everybody, and we are live. Yes, I'm having some technical difficulties with the Wi-Fi. I don't know, recently, I don't know what's been going on these past few days, but I don't know. Anyways, we're live, guys. Yes, so the topic of today is called Men Go Their Own Way, MGTOW. So, as you know, the last time I was on here, a fan was mentioning that he was going that way. So I did a little bit of research into it, and it's quite interesting how this subject or this way of, I guess it's called the sexual orientation, how it plays out. And I just saw like I don't think it's sexist. What I believe, this is from my opinion and from what I did from researching, was that what I believe is that men would get into a relationship before becoming MGTOW, and they would get into a relationship and something would happen, and maybe they would get like really, really, really hurt, or they got cheated on, or there's so many things, or maybe one of their loved ones died. There's so many different things that can happen between people in a relationship. And what I believe is that maybe going through that, they experience all of these things. So afterwards, living through that, they made a change to not to have any type of like intimate or sexual relation with like any women at all whatsoever. And that's completely fine. Like, they're allowed to. It was saying how they have much more financial freedom. They were saying how much they. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna pull it up actually, and then we will be able, because I was reading it, but okay, here we go. So what they were saying is, what they had like two circles like this, and you had one side, it had men, the other side it had women, and like when you have like those graphs right in the middle, it said both. So on the men's side, it was called gender benefits of being in a relationship. So it says men with 3 question marks, ... And then it says for both. In the middle, it says sex, emotional support, and status. And then on the women's side, it was like, okay, hold on, let me see, pull it up here. Okay, so it was free dinners, his money, doors held for you, male servants, attention on you, you're never wrong, treated like a princess, protection, and free gifts. Okay, so I was like speechless, I guess. When I read it, I didn't know what to think about it. And it was kind of funny. I was sitting with my partner at the time when I was reading it, and I asked him, and I was like, am I any of these things? And he's like, what do you mean? And so I just gave him the women's side list, and he was like, I'm like, as he was reading, his face was making think. He goes, oh, yeah, you asked for protection. And I look at him, I'm like, well, obviously, if we're out and something happens, obviously we'll watch you to protect you, you know what I mean? And obviously, if I'm out with you and something happens with you, wouldn't you want me to kind of protect you, regardless if I'm a girl or if you're a boy? Like, So he kind of chuckled at that. So, like, I've been in relationships with men before. I don't want free dinners. Half of the time I pay for stuff because I'm an independent person. But not all women are independent people. And you know what? Actually, speaking about this, I know someone for a very long time, and they go out with different girls. So this person like has 2 baby moms, and these 2 baby moms they believe that is how you live life. Exactly why those men in those MGTOW live that way. Because they want the free dinner, they want the free house, they want this, they want that, they want this, they want that, they want this. And like me, I remember when my friend was at my house and I was asking him, like, hold on a second. So that means that you want a girl that has no skills. You, sorry, like I don't have anything against you. I don't judge you or anything, but like, yes, okay, you can take care of children, you can clean a house. Good for you. Shouldn't all adults and human beings know how to clean a house? Yes, and take care of children. Okay, yes, if you choose to be a mother, yes, you know what I mean. You take on that responsibility. But man, like that list like really got me. And like I remember growing up and going to school with all of these different types of girls and stuff. And call me princess. Oh my god, if anybody knows me, you don't call me princess. If that's one thing you don't do, and that's it. My mother doesn't call me princess. Like she knows how much I hate that. My dad doesn't call me princess because that's my sister. She's the princess. Because like that was she lives like that. I didn't live like that. My mother, who was my mom and my dad, taught me to be an independent person, not to rely on anybody. You know, like if you need something, you go out and get it. If you want money, you're gonna go out and work and get your money. You're not gonna go call up a guy and be like, "Hey, I want money." I, I can't do that. I do not have the balls personally to go up to someone and be like, you know what? Hey, I need money. And you know what? For people out there who know me and who went to school with me and who worked with me, whatever, when do I have ever asked you for stuff? I don't ask anybody for anything. It's so hard for me to even ask my mom for stuff. Like, like, so let's go back to the subject. Anyways, I got really off track there because I was really blown away. And you know what? Actually, I do support men who are all about the MGTOW because you know what? I've met men who've encountered women like that, and I've told them that is unhealthy. I do not support any man who wants to live in a relationship like that because you know what? The women don't know how to take care of the man other than by giving him the deed. But you know what? A man needs more than that. A man needs more than just having his knob polished. Heck yeah. A man also needs love and he needs being taken care of. He needs the door to be held up for him. Hold up. To hell to open. A man needs you to buy him gifts. Heck yeah, when it's his birthday, you better buy him a gift. When it's Christmas, you better buy him something thoughtful. You need to learn about him. You need to observe him. I'm talking about like a woman to man relationship. And man, if a man is calling you princess, you better be calling him prince. Like one relationship is not just 50-50. One relationship is 100. And I think I've said that to you guys before. And you know what? I don't blame you for not wanting to be with women. But what I do have to say about that, like myself, not all women are like that. Even though the vast majority of them are. But what I've also learned to encounter, or what I've girls who grow up with like a father figure in their life grow up a lot more differently than girls who don't. So there's a certain point in a girl's life where you need your father, where you need that. It's mandatory. Then afterwards, you're on your own to make your own decision. But if you grew up without that, obviously there's certain things in your brain that don't click. Like for an example, me and my sister, I don't understand certain things about that family situation because I never grew up in that type of family situation. She will never understand what I went through because she never grew up in my type of family situation. So there's good and bad, and there's ups and downs of everything. So like men who decide to go their own way, I don't judge you. Go if you want to do it. But you know what? You are missing out on all the other quadrillion women that there are out there. If you live in a town of like 50 people and there's like 35 women and you've had sex with them all and they all have done that to you, then you know what? Okay, maybe I understand there. But I don't know how many cities there are in the world that have a population of 50. But that'd be really cool. I'm not gonna lie. That'd be really cool to live in a town of 50 people. But like everybody know your business. But what I also learned is that when you're in a relationship with someone, is that you don't have to be married. You don't have to. Like literally, marriage is a piece of paper just stating that you love each other. Why do you need that? Why? What, for tax benefits? A joint bank account? Oh my gosh. You know what? That just get honestly, my partner is going through a crazy divorce and like they have all of these things that they need to go through and like just watching someone go through this antagonizing pain of things that they worked so hard for, someone who now works, who didn't work before and just was one of those people who just stayed at home and didn't do anything, just come in and just take half of what you worked hard for. Like, that's not cool. And like, oh, another example, like, I'm a friend of a friend did the same thing. He worked super hard a majority of his life. And then at some point he decided to get married. Okay, and he decided to have a child. But then eventually, as the child got getting older, this woman just became crazier and crazier, and her bipolar just got worse, and things would happen. So they had to split up, and you know what I mean? But this woman literally took the house, took this, took that, took this, emptied that. The guy was literally living in a room, and the guy was like 40 something years old. He had like his own business and did this, but just because he got married to this person and just because it didn't work out, like, oh, like there's so many things. And I remember being younger at a certain point in my time, okay, I wasn't doing, very good things. And I met a lot of older guys, okay? Like when I met a lot of older guys, I did. And we would sit there and talk. And they would tell me these things that their ex-wives would do to them. And I would feel so bad. And I remember every single story I would hear, I would promise myself that I would never, ever, ever, ever do that to someone. Because me personally, I would not have the balls. I don't have the balls to go and take somebody else's hardworking money. Like, oh my God, it is mind blowing. So you know what? Like, I know I'm a woman. Unfortunately, I was born this way. I grew up most of my life wishing and praying I was a guy that would do so many things to wish that I was a dude and like act and this and that. But there's nothing I could have done when I was younger because I had these massive tits and a huge butt and I was chunky and there was no hiding it. No matter how baggy my clothes were, no matter how much boy clothes I wore, or I used to wear DC shoes 2 to 3 sizes larger on my feet so that I would look like a boy. I would wear these big pants, and I still do it now. Old habits die hard. Like 3 extra large, I made this actually, 3 extra large sweaters just to, and it would play a lot on me. Like I never wanted to be a girl because being in high school was another thing. Oh my God, the girls I went to high school with, oh my God, it was impeccable. I found out later on that like those same girls that would bully me and those ones that I wouldn't like were the ones that like I wanted to be friends with because I just wanted to have friends, but they would bully me. So I just made other friends. Though I remember what I found out that these girls would like all get together and like gangbang and eat each other's pussies and shit and do all of this stuff. And I'm like, I'm so thankful that I wasn't friends with those friends, but those people bullied me. And you know what? Even to this day, when I try to follow them on Instagram or talk to them or see how they're doing, they shut me down. They don't even follow me. They delete my requests. But you know what? Okay, we were teenagers. Who cares? People change, people grow. But you know what? Clearly they didn't. And you know what? I feel so bad for the men that they are with. They actually have to deal with shit, people like that. Negative, not growing minds who are judgmental and hypocritical because you know what? Those same people go around saying, oh, support local girls or oh, feminism, whatever. But you know what? They are so hypocritical. They will say, yeah, that girl and oh, that girl. Oh, don't support that one. Don't support this one. Don't, oh, laugh at this one's face, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I have never not supported anybody. If someone has something, I make sure that I believe in them. I make sure that I have faith because you know what? I have faith in them because you know what? God tells me so. I'm not going to bring religion into this. I just believe in God and because God created my heartbeat, you know what I mean? Even though my parents conceived me, but like my God gave me that, gave me my soul, gave me who to meet. He gave me what I saw. So if I was not friends with those people, it was for a reason. And if, oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Crap. That happens all the time. Because I get so crazy on all these subjects. There's so many things to talk about. Okay, deep breath. All right, so I would never not support someone in what they want to do. I know I've had like my crazy like moments and things like that, but you know what? I'm dealing with my own mental health, my own ways. I've worked on it. I've gone to therapy. I'm doing things what I need to do. But if someone has an idea, I make sure that they can believe in themselves so much that they can believe in their idea. Make sure that they know that their idea can go somewhere. And you know what? Because you know what? There's not a lot of people who support. Because there are so many people in society, because social media tells you to drag people down, to not bring them where they want to go. And that's negative thinking. That's horrible. That's horrible. I don't like that. I don't like sitting in a room, a bunch of people, and you're just sitting there talking about other people. Have you ever encountered that? I've been in many situations like that. I feel super uncomfortable and I get awkward. And then people want to know why I'm awkward and not wanting to talk to anybody. Because you know what? Sorry, as a high thinking mind type of person, I think about ideas. Sometimes I think about things. Yeah, if I don't want to, because I can think about so many ideas because there's so much to do in this world. I don't have time to think about people. I don't have time to research on Kim Kardashian. I don't have time to I found out who Kylie Jenner was like, I think it was like a year and almost 2 years ago about, I found out who she was I remember it was in fashion class, okay? What was that class? Designer profession, okay? It was the first semester of school, and I was super excited. And this girl, okay? And this girl, she's like one of those really hot girls, you know, the super popular ones where like daddy's rich, daddy owns like the crazy clothing store. She's always in like those Yeezys, I think that's what they're called. I don't know, whatever type of fancy clothes. And she's like, oh my God, you know who Kylie Jenner was? And I was like, no, sorry. She's like, and her and all the little like popular things were laughing at me. They're like, what, do you live under a rock? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I fucking do live under a rock. But then you know what? As the year was going on, those girls were coming to me for help. So you know what? Guys, if you don't want to be with girls like that, go, go, go. I don't freaking stop ya. If I had a dick, as everybody knows, I wish I did. Number one, you'd be very afraid because I'd want to have sex with everything because always wanted to know what that felt like to be a guy that way. Number two, I just believe life would be so much easier. Why? Because I'm a construction gal. I love freaking taping. I love being on a job site. I love being dirty and greasy and mechanics and all of that stuff. But you know what? Because I got these freaking things, it affects this whole sexism stuff. So you know what? If I was a dude, I'd probably be NGTOW and I'd probably have a different women every single day. Because maybe not, I don't know, it depends. Maybe I'd probably find that special gal, I don't know, or that number one or whatever. But you know what about that number one? I actually want to talk about that too. We can talk about that because I know someone who's been with the same girl for 14 years, okay? 14 or 17 years, something like that. It's been a long time. We're about the same age. They've been together since high school, okay? This girl only had sex with this guy in her entire life, and this guy has sex with a whole bunch of girls that she doesn't know about, all right? Okay? But yet, he says it's normal for people to be in long-term marriages to have plenty things on the side because what you men say is instead of eating chicken every day, I want some steak. Bro, don't get fucking married. You know, my mom said to me once, I don't remember who it was precisely, but someone that she knows and someone that I know closely, same thing, got married, had some kids, blah, 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 and then he had the side chick. And then his mother was saying it's okay. It's normal, just to make sure that she's taken care of, you know? Give her the pastini. But, like, that's not fucking right. If you're gonna cheat on someone, you want to bring diseases into the house. That's not healthy for the woman. That's not healthy for the children. Just don't be fucking married. Just go be MGTOW. If I was a dude, I'd be maybe not. But it's a really interesting subject. Really interesting subject. And I'm really happy about it because it really opened up my eyes even more. Because when I would talk about things like that, when I would talk about my experiences with women, or when I would talk about these exact same things with guys, they would think I'm nuts because I'm a girl talking about girls. They're like, oh, you're being a hypocrite. I'm like, listen. They say that they call me trans or something like that because like I'm a guy inside this girl's body, but doing the transition is a lot of stuff and very psychotherapy and stuff like that. And like I already have so many mental issues, like I know it's going to give me anxiety and mental things. I'm probably going to freak out, and like my Gemini half is going to come out, and I do not want any of that stuff to happen. So that is not why I'm doing it, because it'll bring out other types of demons that I do not need to brought out. There's things in my life that don't ever need to be spoken about. So I don't judge any trans people. I don't judge anybody who's in the process. I am so supportive of you. Like I remember there's this one YouTuber that I follow. Okay, she's beautiful. Okay, I didn't even know she was trans or went through the process until she had like a video where it was her revealing to her boyfriend at the time, which they're no longer together, thank God, that she used to be a man. It was so mesmerizing, and I was so much in shock, and I was in wow of how much strength that this person had, and to go into that, to go do this, to go in through that. Like I know here in Quebec you got to do like 1,200 hours of psychotherapy, which is that's a lot. Like in 1 year there's 365 days, so imagine that's multiple years. Then you got to do the doctor and the surgeries and the this and the that. Mind you, I would love to have one. Like I would love it, but other things would come up that can potentially harm other people, potentially harm myself, and I don't want to do that to anybody. I cannot. So I stay like this. I've learned to accept it. I do have my battles. I do my things, but you know what? I tough it out. So instead of just talking about it, what I've learned to do is just act. So what the cool thing is that if something happens, I just be like, you know what? Here, this is it. So you know what? I wonder if there's a women go their own way. But you know what? Actually, that wouldn't work because mostly I know some women want to have children. I know some men want to have children. So men who want to have children, do you, when you're in your MGTOW, do you think about having children? Do you think about like adopting them? I don't know. I actually if I was MGTOW, I would probably live on a farm like I still want to now, and continuously adopt children like I still want to do now, and just live in the mountains on a farm and live life, and take care of children of parents who didn't want them. And it's not that I'm going to tell these children that. It's just I want these children to grow up with a parent. These children deserve parents. It's not their fault they were put into that adoption like system, all because the person didn't believe in an abortion. You know what? That is a crazy subject. It's so big. Every country has their different things about it. So you know what? Maybe we could talk about that next week. We can talk about abortions. I don't know. Maybe people are gonna shoot me. People are gonna like shut me down off YouTube or whatever. But it's gonna be talking about what those children go through. So yes, it's not fair to end anybody's life, to have an abortion or stuff like that, so some people have like different views about it. But yeah, we'll talk about that next week. Okay, so if you guys have any comments or you want to discuss what we spoke about today, put it in the comments, send me an email, shoot me Instagram, send me a tweet, or you can check out my feet on OnlyFans. So it's all up to you. We got about 5 minutes left. And you know what? Actually, because I was going to talk about something else next week, but since we kind of started talking about children, we're not allowed to talk about children on YouTube, I don't think, or showing children. No, we're not allowed showing children. That's our thing. But I want to talk about adoption. Let's talk about that next week. What adoption does, how adoption can benefit and not benefit people's relationships. I want to talk about, or I want to see if people out there who've been adopted, what was it like for you? Like, I want to hear your stories about it. So that would be really cool. I would be really interested to hear that, guys, and see what we can go, because we're almost up here. So we're going to finish it off. And so I wrote a blog yesterday, posted it. I'm probably going to write another one tonight or tomorrow. And see what this week brings. And I'm going to post some more videos for you guys. And during the week, probably in the morning, afternoon, night. Not sure, mix it up a little bit so you guys have some content to work through. It's going to be the subjects about what we talk about in our videos. So tomorrow, we got a video coming out as well, and on Tuesday. So check in, and we'll see where we go. So everybody have a good night. I am going to go spend the last few moments with my mama before she goes to bed. And yeah, so bye guys. Subscribe and like my channel.